Well, hello and welcome back. Dimitri, thank you for doing the round of ship designs. It's been really cool looking these over. For those of you just tuning in for the sleep. Tuning in, we're doing a second round of concept explorations for DrBossKey's Starship for a DrBossKey SHMUP prototype that we're working on. So without further ado, let me just kind of go through it. So to answer your question, Dimitri, on horizontal, I think we can certainly go longer if the design really fits, right? But the thing is that these areas in the SHMUP, they're not going to be areas that players can damage. So I think the longer it gets when bullets are passing through, it might be a bit funky. So, but you know, I'm not saying no. So, as far as this design is concerned, I like this kind of upper like shell plating that we've got going on. I wasn't a huge fan of the elongated fin. Again, I'm not saying no, but I'm still kind of kind of marinated on it. So I enjoyed kind of the way that this triangular piece kind of pulls off the fuselage, if you will. I'm thinking we should probably try to maybe pull this back a little bit in terms of design and expose more of this core. I had this idea that the whole thing is rotating. We can certainly do that in a simple animation. And I kind of got excited about that. I also really enjoy these little nodules. I have this on the other one, but in terms of the way it breaks up the shape. Not super crazy about the wing, but I also kind of like it. So I think that I left it in there. Let's remix a few of these and see what we come up with. Here, I kind of just like this grindy circular bit that we got going on, and this is one of my more favorite engine designs. I think we're going to probably do an exploration a bit on engines. And in general, I'm not a big fan of how close the weaponry is to the I think the main core shape of the ship. A lot of it gets lost at that point. So, and in general, I think that was it for there. I've got a mutation to show you in just a sec. So here, I also enjoyed how the plating comes back. I did a little kit bash. Maybe we can follow this plating down a little bit more throughout the shape. Maybe a little tiny bit more curve on the on the wing here, so we can also carry that through for the more horizontal design. I enjoyed the kind of just the armament here. It's not quite a wing, but it's definitely bolting on this weapon. But again, I think these weapons are too tight in terms of the cockpit itself, and the shape kind of gets muddied a bit because they're very close to on top of each other. This one here. Those were the main things for that. Also, you see it in the other designs too, but I enjoyed, again, this kind of circular notch thing. I enjoyed that you worked in a bit of the thrust. And again, I'm not a big fan. Like, maybe we find a way to make this work with the wing. We can combine maybe this thrust and it's a piece of the wing. Maybe we leave the wing off and we go back to like this design bit here. So let's just explore it. Enjoyed, again, I think this shape and flanging, also this kind of circular nodule for for one of the guns down here, and then again, just kind of I pointed out these circular nodule bits. I also kind of enjoyed a little bit of the kind of carapace lining that happened that kind of armors the top of the cockpit itself. In general, with the couple designs, I wasn't a big fan. There's a lot of noise here, so I'm not sure it's not working so well for me. But we're just exploring shapes and kind of texture, so just thought I'd give that as feedback. Here you got a bit of that missile. I think we'll probably do another exploration on weapons separately too. But I do enjoy that we had this more boxy, one large kind of missile kind of thing here. I feel like that's going to serve gameplay to some degree as well. It might turn out that we might have it might be less warhead-like. I don't know. We'll see. It might be that, but for now, let's keep exploring that. I also enjoyed the kind of that. It's kind of it's like a carapace shell, hard shell that kind of tucks it in underneath. Enjoyed, again, kind of the ribbing here. I also really enjoyed what you did here with this cockpit design. You're gonna see my Frankenstein in here in a second, but I enjoyed the exploration of trying to keep them together. So that being said, here's my crime against humanity version. So I know it's terrifying to look at. So but this is just me kind of exploring and kind of ripping apart the ships a little bit from the things I liked. this is way too noisy overall, right? But you can see I was trying to kind of see what maybe like an extended carapace ribbing would look like here for the armor bits on the side. Kind of exploring this wing shape here a little bit, you know, in that side. It could turn out like the wing shape is not necessary, but one of the things I really wanted to do is I wanted to carry through this profile, the silhouette of these weapons. These weapons are, you know, weapons are almost as important as your ship, so maybe they might be a tad bit too deep. But you know, that was kind of the thinking there in terms of vertical. So and then here kind of I was, well, if the wing goes here, what happens to this sort of like a, you know, this under thruster kind of thing. So and then I jammed these little bits together here. I enjoyed this engine design a little bit more, I think, so I carried that over as well. So yeah, I think those are the big pieces of feedback. I'm gonna put them in Engine and take a look at them here. Thank you so much for your delivery of them on PNG, of course, or on PNG with Alpha. Let me see. Just double check your notes and make sure I answered all of the questions. I'm gonna write up a couple of the bits here. Yeah. Okay. So cool. Yes. I basically, as far as the sketches go, it could be that when I copied and pasted or cut out and pasted the ship design from the previous image, that I was a little bit scaled on my side, although I could have swore I compared it 1-to-1. And then, yep, so I got you on the first ship sketch. We talked about that already. And yeah, I think that the only thing here is that, you know, as you scale things down, because we're not working in vectors with vector images, right? Then some of that detail, line detail, just collapses. It has nowhere to go. And that's why I was, you know, like, yeah, for sketching, I think we're fine and we can kind of clean it up and make it sort of work. But I don't want to get too attached to the specific details until we're really checking how the lines look in the silhouettes and make sure that when we do scale it down, that it kind of really holds up the core pieces of the ship that we needed to. I think we can still work in the slightly higher resolution. Doesn't have to be crazy high resolution because it doesn't make any sense to paint details at that level for what we're using it for. But for instance, you know, in the game, I could see us, you know, at 1080p is what we're really shooting for the logical render resolution. So I could see us doing like a scene that is just like a cutscene that just, you know, shows off the ship at a higher resolution, and since it'll take up a lot more of the screen, it won't be playable, but it's kind of like a hero asset. So that's the in between. So okay, yeah, game build is totally good. I did some work on it last night. I got a new section together. I think I got almost like maybe 8 minutes of gameplay together. All prototype stuff, but kind of thinking through that stuff and just exploring. So I'm having fun doing that. And then yeah, as far as animation goes, yeah. So I mean, the way it will. Let's see. So you're asking if we're moving in horizontal axis to the frames for the ship, will mostly be the same asset but rotate it in different angles. Yeah. So no, that's pretty much it. So I think when I picture, so we're moving in this direction, the horizontal, and then when you move in the vertical, so essentially all it is that the ship will bank. So, and it'll have basically a half state and then a full state. It won't be fully flat, but it'll be kind of like, you know, like 45 degrees. So it'll be nice because we'll be able to see a bit of the wing and whatnot. Maybe not crazy extreme, but that's the main thing is that, and that'll give you, it'll give you a more feeling of immediacy when you're going up and down for controlling the ship in the game. So it also could turn out that maybe, because I'm not sure how to animate the animated bits, like when I talk about like the spinning fuselage bit, and like these other things, maybe if we have like these nodules have a sense of kind of like going around, like definitely this rotor bit, some of these things. So when we cut it out, you know, this will have, you know, we can have, because it's a hero asset, we can have, I don't know, a dozen frames if we want, and then we just need to then, you know, have some pieces that essentially look good when they're animating from frame to frame. It's all very, very, you know, very classic frame animation at that point. I also forgot to mention at the end of this here, so I'm not quite sure. I was trying to kind of figure out, like, you know, let's explore design where we could maybe have this wrap around kind of front part of the cockpit and maybe create, like, it doesn't have to be quite in this shape here, but maybe it could be like a bit of a dome. Maybe we mix the things together. But I thought I'd just explore it. I couldn't quite come up with something I really liked here, but I thought I would leave that in there for consideration. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to checking out the next round. For everyone else that's paying attention out there, hello, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.